wins. A 3-3 record goes up against a 5-1 record. You might expect Leviathan to be the favorites. Most people, I think, though, looking towards 100 Thieves as the team with the advantage in this, based on just having a better performance in the Stage 1 playoffs, mostly.
Especially on this map. I mean, the molly missing there. Gonna get one chance at that one. Doesn't shove King off the angle, but he's gonna at least give them respect. Working their way up. A lot of info gathered, especially with Aspas picking off Bang. That's an important one.
It's huge. It just relieves all of that pressure over towards A. Lev, if they want to, can start making the rotate.
Does he have the top? Sees is very good. Asana's going to be ahead of most of this now as well. That util sails into the back line. Kwon being removed, just couldn't stand his ground against it. And Asana overzealous, man. But he's got the rest of the team with him, potentially to their own dismay. There's a 2v2 now kicking off. Lev versus 100 Thieves, and Lev not messing around here with the timing. They want to try and take this one fast and loose. Aspas is left alone to do the most. 2 shots to the body, all it takes. 2 left in the chamber, left to the 1v1. Him versus EU. Comes down to the wire. It's EU who delivers.
Very active there from 100 Thieves. Once they got the plant down, I mean, I thought it was a Season 8 combo. It wasn't. They still had the C's active later on, so it was a Haunt that marked him up, I believe. And this kill almost made it feel like Lev had a great advantage in the round, but they couldn't get bodies over the B quickly enough. Yeah, just marked up and feels like he's not safe. King did a great job of being able to collect 2 in elbow, but not enough. And if you think back to what stopped Leviathan from getting a better position towards those Stage 1 playoffs, where they did at times look like the best team that we had in the league. I know if people have been watching the playoffs, and also Lev's pretty poor performance at Shanghai, it can feel odd to be reminded that Leviathan at one point we were thinking were perhaps the best team in Americas. When they battled Crew towards the end of Stage 1, that's what we were setting up.
Yeah, living up to the title of Super Team, but
it hasn't felt like that recently.
No. A little bit sloppy. Tumultuous, definitely, here. For 100 Thieves, they're on their favored side of one of their favored maps, so going to be expecting them to be looking pretty dominant. The execs looking drilled for this squad, and it's an important series overall for them, obviously sitting at 3-3 overall standings. A win on the board, getting themselves up to 4. Everyone counts.
Yeah, and also some fairly tough competition. They still have to play against Furia and MIBR, but those are not free. Oh, I mean, they have already lost to Furia, sorry, but they still have that upcoming game against MIBR.
EG, Loud 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while earlier on in the year, maybe we would have thought, yeah, no problem, should be a breeze. The deeper we get, even the teams towards the bottom of the standings are looking like they can do damage, and 100 Thieves know that better than most, having just lost 0-2 to Furia.
Oh, they know exactly where Aspas is. It's not getting away with anything.
No chance. And a very clean conversion of this round 2 from 100 Thieves. Like you said, Brent, they're on the attack side of Bind, which was, they were untouchable. Definitely.
Oh,
even though the results may not have exactly mapped 1-to-1 at Shanghai, I do still think 100 Thieves were the best team on the world at this map. They just put a target on their back by being so damn good at it. And it's the attack side that was working phenomenally for them. Aspas instantly picking up an operator as soon as he could.
There.
No armor.
Glass cannon on the raise, no boombot, no satchels. Purely relying on the op.
That first shot's going to be so vitally important. Usual exec that 100 Thieves like to go for over towards A. Sending Asana in. Trebuchet in him. A little bit of util as well to accompany, potentially to support. A smoke's blocked off in the face of Aspas. And again, seeing Asana already takes up that spot and space. That's to spam into the smoke potentially. Aspas revealing himself. Even out on Mazzino trying to dominate that position and retains control of Shower. Spike dropped down in the middle of nowhere. Detainment somewhere towards the back. Cryos hunting and beaming them all down. Com eventually going to be back there. 2v2 is what it's going to be returned to. Doubled up now, hopping over the top, returns in with the fire. King finally answers.
King with a lot of value on the pistol round and manages to get his way up to the top of the scoreboard again by winning a really important clutch. We're seeing 100 Thieves prioritize very early on here, this idea of going for a jump peek and having the second player swinging behind. Both times that we've seen someone go for it, that front player who goes for the jump is just getting eviscerated. It's a nice push from Cryo there to collect 2.
Last player standing.
And honestly, Lev bailed themselves out of a pretty bad spot there as Aspas' op got no value. Their economy's in a bit of a touch-and-go position as well, as King forced to pick up the Judge, but you're not really bothered about that on Bind. Hookah, extremely difficult to get through. Aspas' position given away by that Dizzy is going to have to return into a bit of a more passive crossfire alongside Tex.
Free reign going to be given up towards Showers as well. I mean, Com earlier just picked up the orb. Scot-free. Slow and steady from 100 Thieves. They don't want to rush into anything too much, but now looking like they want to explore over towards B-Long. Down to that minute mark.
There can be gaps in these defaults. We've seen 100 Thieves exploited a little. But once they gather up for the execs, those look very drilled. Both orbs being used over here and both running out of fuel. So an open avenue for 100 Thieves to try to exploit, but 3 players on B.
A lot of util though that Lev are going to be holding on to at least to stop them. I think Aspas has the nade in his hand, and there it is. Sails right over, lobbed it into the corner, forced them back and around and away, but Boostio will be dropped. Same with Asuna to 2-piece. Ult earn, Rocket still ready and waiting, fires and lands. 3 in a round for Aspas himself. This guy's looking demonic, and bang, can only do so much. Tucked away into a tight corner of only 10 seconds. Running away, EU. Down to that 1v1 once more. Surely can't do it again. Forced to stick the plant. Now it's the only possible. Wing gone! Steps it forwards. Com shuts him down. 2-2. It's what the scoreline's going to be drawn to.
It's a 3K in the round there from Aspas. And one of the stats that I was looking at the most coming out of 100 Thieves lost to Furia, one of the stats that I thought told the story of the match, was that there were 8 multi-kills of 3K plus that Furia managed to put up against 100 Thieves. 8 on both of the maps. That's almost a third of the rounds where Furia were able to get 3 or 4 kills against them from one individual.
Which is just, I mean, that's ludicrous.
That's bonkers.
Yeah.
And that speaks to 100 Thieves not quite being able to trade out those positions, not anticipating aggression on defense in some spots. Normally 100 Thieves are pretty good at being able to shut down people like that. But yeah, against Furia in that game, individuals were having inordinate impact, and they've got to stop people on Lev doing the same. It's very difficult when you're going up against people like Aspas.
Now we're going to be seeing the silly gun doing a bit of work. Holds down Hookah easily enough.
And speaking of the silly guns, Aspas with an outlaw as well that he's taking over towards market.
It's less silly. He's shrugging over there. They can't see it. He disagrees. They're going to be walking themselves over towards Lev here. Nice little double stack. Wall goes down. Wants to take a face as well. That's right through the wall. How did we get a second? Definitely did. The damage just holds the trigger there. There was patience being played. Bang. He's returned with a shot to the brain. Boostio trying to take that timing straight past the smoke. Will get punished in the end, and so the options are very limited onto this half by of 100 Thieves.
30 seconds left.
Bang's going to try and work things here. If we can do a little bit of damage to the economy, it would have been useful. Lev have been winning, but they haven't been concrete, decisive wins up until the anti-eco. Leviathan are really trying to put an emphasis on pushing out of short, I've noticed. You know, they took on the pistol round the fight against Bang really early on. And then since then,
Well played, boys. This that we did here is perfect.
they keep pushing forwards. They keep trying to fight aggressively. We've still got Guardian, Judge, Outlaw for Lev. It almost feels a bit like a bonus in terms of how their economy is functioning, and a 4-player stack on the A site as well. Heavily reading into the fact that 100 Thieves are going to go for their A exec.
I think that's smart when you look at the ults the 100 Thieves have as well. I mean, Nightfall, Orbital Strike, all adds up.
Yeah, and one of the classic ways that 100 Thieves like to attack on this map is to send the Fade down through Showers and then running the other 4 players going for the exec down short. And this has been exploited in the past. We've seen people tucking into pocket, and the Fade utility is not there on the short exec. Now, these should be things that 100 Thieves are aware of, because they were getting caught out on Bind by teams pretty heavily anti-stratting them at Shanghai.
No punish in sight there for the jiggle again. Time is running short here down to the minute mark.
Yeah, not too bad though, and they're grouping up over towards B, which is very weak currently. It's only King, and he can't even shoot from elbow right now. He's got a judge, so he's just waiting for the game to come to him.
We're calling for the reinforcements with the Dizzy. Orchestrates quite a lot that 100 Thieves might be leaning over into this direction. 35 seconds left, but King's not calling for reinforcements. This will be just essentially that full exit. Coming through over the top. Lobs the Mosh. Nightfall to follow up. Clears out most of the side, so peace of mind there for 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves do enjoy going for elbow aggression in the post plant, but looks like they're not opting for it this time. King is really hoping that they do.
It's going to be a hard retake with the guns that they've got. The Nightfall's going to get committed though. Nade used. One for another. Haunt over the top as well. It's going to be dealt with, and the orbital strike. That's beautiful. Just buying him a little bit of time here. Cuts him up. Puts the pause and forces it out of Lev. Now going to be using that Thrash. No real danger here, but Boostio still tucked to the corner. Still, Lev are winning this one out with all of the guns. And weaponry, doesn't matter if it was subpar. They're dominating their positions. And already in onto the spike. Messina with a defuse. Any possibilities for his EU? It doesn't look like he wants to try and go for this. But the spam's just not there, not through the wall in time. So, full stick and a retake. Success there for Lev is really surprising to me.
It does feel surprising. King got a kill throughout all of that with a classic from elbow. He's just hiding in elbow the whole time with his judge. And he eventually got a kill with his sidearm. I mean, it is on a detained player. I didn't quite realize that. It makes it a bit more reasonable, doesn't it? But yeah, the whole of Leviathan, extremely patient. At the same time, though, the plant is for long and nobody is playing long. It's only absolutely precise in those kind of situations. I don't necessarily fault Cryo for going for it.
Sure.
But there are problems with the way that 100 Thieves are getting set up into these spots, and they're down onto another really poor buy. But I do think that they're finding the right ways of being able to get into positions. They're just failing to convert.
Again, it's going to be that cautious tail. 100 Thieves playing it out. Beginning of almost every single round, honestly. Just this slow default, seeing if they can catch any form of aggression. But Lev are perfectly happy to wait them out. No signs of life.
No. The only place that Leviathan has looked to try to get aggressive in the early to mid round has been short. Apart from that, they are very confident of just sitting back, holding their ground, and even in the previous, playing full retake over towards B. And that's not going to be successful too often, but they're very confident in the idea.
Here's the setup from 100 Thieves, at least. Oh. Prowler's going to be just expiring. Short of the mark. Here's the Mosh. Sailing overhead alongside the Dizzy and the Showstopper. So 100 Thieves committing a lot of big tools now to try and win this one. Oh, how the hell does that wrap around? Not too sure. Corm ends up going down anyway. Over the strike. It's committed and does deny the plant. Will be getting themselves into the post. So 30 seconds left. Could be critical. Nothing else to deny though. The molly ended up missing. Bang's going to be able to stick that one.
Could be
with the Hitman, yeah.
Could be absolutely crucial that that molly missed there from Mazzino, because otherwise the pressure on his plant would have been enormous.
And jump over the side. Aspas trying to set his team up, but it's a little bit delayed. And Boostio, he's hungry for it. The kills just chasing him down. Feeling empowered now, and King, last one left. 1v4 scenario. Does not look winnable, not with a pit in his way. Even with the disadvantage he's facing. Will be forced to save at the end of the day here. So, the committal of ults from 100 Thieves. It's going to work out. They're going to want to hunt down these kills. They're going to want Cryo to do it. Oh, he's found himself a rifle. He's happy. He's backing away.
They're just sending bang forwards because he was the player with the stinger. It's about building up the economy at the moment rather than trying to focus on ults. As 100 Thieves have been pushed into the dirt a little bit to begin here on Bind. That's a great one to be able to put on the board, though. They were in a disadvantage, but again, they actually find themselves in a spot where they control the site. But this time, one piece of plant denial utility missed, so they're in a favored player advantage, and they're able to get the plant down and play opposed with the pit. I think if Mazzino had landed that molly, the rest of Leviathan were ready to retake on the next, as soon as the molly expired, they were ready to try to send that forwards.
That next wave of things. Didn't work out, though.
Instant pit to try to deny some short control here. That's one of the main areas that 100 Thieves are going to try to go towards. seen Bang really favor this attacking Viper's Orb deep up B long. Trying to make it difficult for Lev to play in that area. Aspas is worried anytime that goes up that they could be trying to pop through it. So he's taking the risk of going inside the orb.
This is risky. The crosshair placement of Bang is impeccable. Couldn't get more perfect.
Yeah, look how tough that is for Aspas and Tex to play that situation. They never know whether there are players behind this Viper Orb. Very difficult to deal with. Perfectly played by 100 Thieves.
And it did, I mean, dislodging the defenders.
And still Boostio calls the very slow approach to this round, expecting some kind of play to be made. And we can see that it's happening over towards Showers here. Com just looking for that mid-round information, seeing if he can push up, find a timing. We know that Com loves a flank.
Azino is so damn committed, he has to be.
30 seconds
It's the only way
left.
he's going to have to turn this round away. Maybe potentially there, Prowler in his face. Fully blinded up, still gets 2. The question is, has he done enough? Dizzy, locked on! King is on top 4! That's ridiculous!
The body's like prostrate at his feet. I can't believe he's pulled that one off. The aim just looks so snappy. What a difference it makes when King is on fire for Leviathan.
Oh yeah.
You know the peaks that this guy can hit. He's been a monster all across his career. But sometimes, when the team's struggling, his mechanics take a bit of a dive as he's trying to figure out how to call for them. But otherwise, the movement is so impressive. Here's this Horn that lights up people over towards Fountain. Shouldn't really catch under Bang, playing a very safe position. But that was a 3v5. And Leviathan won. 100 Thieves can't catch a break. This is their map. This is their home territory.
Got to be able to close out rounds like that.
Mazzino should never be getting 2 in that situation. The Haunt wasn't actually very good from EU over towards Garden. But let's let bygones be bygones and focus on the here and now.
Yeah, and here and now, Lever stacking, at least with 3 players, looking to try and fight and contest this one. Slight gap into the smoke. Mazzino can play inside. That one on top of the truck. Can't be playing from that position, at least Mazzino. And Tex have got their watchful eyes onto this one. Nade rebounding over the top. You're still a minute on the clock, but 100 Thieves. Issue has been forced. Doubled up now into Lamps, praying that somebody will just wade into them, but doesn't look likely. There's a lot of discipline on display right now from Leviathan.
And look how good the plant denial is from Lev. They're never allowing 100 Thieves to just get it down in the first wave. Mazzino dominating Showers control now too. Very tough for 100 Thieves to turn it. They're going to need the same level
30
of
seconds
ridiculous
left.
individualism that we just saw from Lev.
I got the spike.
Like Tap sees the angle of fight to be taken.
Last player
Aspas
standing.
winning is out. It's an individualistic moment. Right through the smoke. Mazzino seeking them out. I'll put a finish to it. 6-3 now. It's a hefty lead that Lev have got.
An early days in this match, but what a return to glory this has been from Leviathan in terms of the level of Valorant they're playing currently. This was the team that everyone was looking at during the middle portions and the late portions of the regular season in Stage 1, saying, hey, this could be the best team in Americas. Like, they are playing some excellent Valorant. And then towards the playoffs, it looked sloppy, post-plant problems. At Shanghai, genuinely,
Don't talk to me about Shanghai.
yeah,
I mean,
genuinely dreadful from
there was some
Leviathan.
dire stuff going on.
But they've rebounded, and they're playing really well right now.
And it is looking better. Aspas looking to punish. Bang! Just holding that one for the rest of his team, but some sort of read gave it away. At least for him to offload that ult. Even utilizing it against the weaker buy of 100 Thieves. Only going to be stopping them in their tracks, surely. 100 Thieves looking to disrespect past it, but
It's only
player.
Asuna in.
Yeah, Asuna. It's a solo, isolated. One player to make something happen, already with a shot hit. Zeno taken out, and now just finding the timing out throughout, but that should be calmed and called. Going to be aware of the fact that he's flanking. Full attention over towards Octagon for now. Again, a lot's going to be asked once more of these 100 Thieves players. Not with the guns for the job. Still, Aspas will not be denied. Running just a mockery man in this round. It's a 4-piece for him.
You're up. Stay safe. You're going back in.
Aspas has been performing. He's been there the whole time. The big wins that they got during Stage 1 against Crew, against G2, those were powered by Aspas dropping nukes on their opponent.
Yeah.
He needs help, and today, King, Mazzino, they're delivering it. Only a single round, and I believe that was an eco that 100 Thieves found after the pistol. This is a horrendous way to start the series for 100 Thieves. Coming off the back of that upset to Furia.
It's rough. A lot of the success on Bind for 100 Thieves as well. It comes from the attack side rounds.
Yeah.
Well-drilled executes.
They've got big ultimates to work with here, though. This one is the best chance they've had ever since they expended all of those ults to win the Thrifty in round 7.
And again, not willing to rush into anything, just making sure it's slow and steady. Trying to plot the correct course, but...
And to be honest, they're finding the correct course quite a lot of the time in terms of the site that they're hitting.
Yeah.
It's just that they're not ready for Leviathan's plant denial.
One or two things just chewing them up here. Asuna, seized in place. Vulnerable 2, has to let loose of the rocket. Oh, it sailed right past. Potentially could have been a winner for him, but no, not quite. Nade off into the corner. Tap of the rifles, King. Steady hand, steady aim still. We're playing this one side by side, running and gunning, at least with the judge in play. But Asuna finally brought down to his knees. Tex following up through the window and through the back of the site. That's going to be the plant. Boostio committing to 2v1. Tex might be able to take this timing, maybe brings it to a 1v1. But does he know he's being flanked? That's the question. The fuse coming through, round to the back. Give it away. He's revealed his position, but unaware. The call coming too late. Don't know where the molly came from. Bang. Closes it out.
Round before the switch.
That's a bonkers final situation there. Bang, he had to run all the way through spawn, so he just assumed Tex already knew that he was coming from that direction. And Tex was none the wiser.
And does the molly even kill Wingman now? I'm not even too sure.
No, I mean, it's not going to be super useful in that kind of spot.
Yeah.
You're expecting Aspas to be able to get one from that spot, I think.
Listen, they got the job done.
It did. And I think 100 Thieves, they need to be able to get to 5. They've just used their big ultimates, but one away from getting Nightfall online.
And this looks pacey. Looking like they want to try and go for this one almost immediately, at least taking that shower's control. That's disrespect.
4-1.
Aspas forced to take the shot early, but a Prowler in his face is already the orbital strike. Seeking to cut up 100 Thieves, and cut them up it does. It's 1,000 cuts and death by it in this round. 100 Thieves. Only with Cryo and Asuna left standing. And again, you're going to be asking for miracles from them.
The smoke that Mazzino has dropped on site just stops the 100 Thieves utility down short from really getting much value. It's a lovely setup. And EU gets melted. They know he's the only person in showers.
One enemy remaining.
Spamming the smokes. Picking them apart, 100 Thieves. Can't withstand him at every position being assailed. It's inevitable. It's going to be the 8-4 finish here. Asuna have to pull off the play of his life, I think, to make it out of that one, but no, won't be the case. Flawless is the finish. 8-4. Really good lead by Lev.
Yeah, they're looking excellent. All of their game plans are working. It feels like they've got a great read on what 100 Thieves are going to be doing. The team play is looking nice as well. I mean, look at that setup. Beautiful to catch EU, knowing he was the only person there. Detain comes through, easy kill. Leviathan have 4 multi-kills of...
Find out, man. I mean, Boostio, he was stanced up in the halftime. Don't know if you saw that.
He is frequently, isn't he?
Trying to emit the aura.
Yeah. It looks like 100 Thieves need some. And the devs were talking about post plans, but a lot of the time Lev were just denying the plan from even going down. It'll be interesting to see what style 100 Thieves run. They were previously doing a lot of defensive re-clears against slower-paced teams. And this one, it feels like they're doing this B pistol strat that teams have run. Viper Wall is really difficult to get info on both sides of. And the spike is not committed here. No. This is just to try to pull attention.
It's all a bit of a ruse. And the Maiden switch is already pulling players for the rotation.
And if you want to talk about individuals, King opens things up again.
That's right. He might have gone for another one.
At this point, though, Boostio's got the read. You look at him rotating over towards A, and Lev might have missed the timing here.
Yeah. There was a potential window. These were players rotating away from A with a smoke drop down in their faces. I've lost that window. Dizzy's pre-aimed. Cryo locked in and getting active now, but still... Oh, the movement! Aspas! Oh, you can't be getting away with that, son! That is dirty work. What is that, man?
EU as well, desperately swung through.
I mean, no words.
It's
no words.
It's gross. Oh, that's disgusting. I mean, the Dizzy gets so much value there from Boostio, who's rotated over towards A, perfectly anticipating the lever coming down short. Does it matter? No, it really doesn't.
Yeah. And this just here, I mean, my goodness.
Tragic. The 100 Thieves players flooding back in one by one to try to right the ship, hoping against hope that they can pull out levels of individualism that we've been seeing from Leviathan, and it's not the case. Barring a ridiculous Thrifty here, Lever in complete control on Bind. 100 Thieves map pick. We have seen teams, when they come back from international events, have a slump afterwards. And, you know, there's been a lot of hypotheses why, you know, they don't have the time to be able to adjust, etc., etc. And Lev did get knocked out of Shanghai a bit earlier than 100 Thieves.
They did,
but
you know, they got sent back.
But honestly, it wasn't an enormous difference. Both of these teams were there. A triple setup is quite nice to punish King, but that's going to tell him that the stack is over towards B, and they're going to start pushing things into Boostio.
Boostio's got to respect this. They just spot him out. Dizzy over the top. Can be pre-fired. Regains the position of Lamps here, just trying to buy some time for the rest of his team as well. They are already in through the back as well, but he's swarming together, and he can win on the cards potentially. Takes what is that? Straight transferring around with the ghost in hand, sidearms. Apparently, the play in that scenario, 2v2.
They're so weak.
Column single digits, Hex. One shot to the body from a Sheriff will do him in. EU, precisely the weapon on hand. Nails it. One to the chest. One left to stand, and will come falling. A thrifty win. Precisely what the doctor ordered there for 100 Thieves, and it was all set up from that cheeky play out towards B long.
They needed that. A lifeline has just been thrown out to 100 Thieves as they were sinking into the mud. If they can start to right the ship and get themselves into this map, maybe they've still got a chance here. Nice. Great kills as they came back in through the smoke. They're playing together, they're hitting. And you can see what it means on Boostio's face there. Now, the danger, however, has not been averted. Aspas, he still lingers.
Yeah, the raid boss.
With a Vandal and full armor. He's torn through them so far. 14 kills across 14 rounds. With a 3K and a 4K under his belt.
Top of the board. Looking to cement the lead. Crosshair placement is perfect! And the micro adjustment. Absolutely sublime.
His aim is so strong.
There might be more where that came from as well. The bait and switch, you can see King making sure that he plays a star player directly into the fray. And a fight taken and one out once more. Already the front sight is going to be theirs. And now a play does need to be made. Boostio might have been considering. He's trying to swing out and wide the nade, forcing that decision out of him. And everybody falls just from that. The back-to-back Thrifties on either side of things. It's answered in kind by Lev.
Beautifully set up. I mean, that is exactly how you empower your superstar player. King leaping forwards in order to distract. The nade then sent into the backside for Boostio to be flushed out. And then trading as those final players flooded through. That's another 4K on the board for Aspas. His third of the big multi-kill rounds.
Yeah.
And the fifth 3K plus for Leviathan. I mean, it is feeling a bit like the game against Furia. 100 Thieves, they just can't stop individuals from snowballing against them at the moment.
Beauty of it is in this map here, I mean, Aspas, a lot of it's coming from support from the rest of his team. It's been set up for it. He's not forced to deadlift everybody, 1v9. Holding the angle though, slight jiggle with it, sees is good. With the connection, finally, they bring him down.
This is the same setup that they used to win the Thrifty in round 14.
Not sniffed out.
No, I mean, Lev ran into it both times.
Big opening, Boostio. Might be looking for that timing he has. Whoa. Weaved his way right past, and the Wiser! Comp falls. It's gonna be an upgrade. Available with the rifle picked back up. King wants to slip himself past and maybe catch a timing of one of his own, but Boostio's aware of this. It's pinging it like they could have at least worked their way in through a short. Wants to hold on to the Showers position. This is 100 Thieves looking to right the wrongs again of the previous round.
The teams with the light economy finding those advantages early on. 30 seconds left. Is there any plant denial here?
And Down King is super isolated. And with his back open wide, Asuna plucks him out of the picture. Tex is low enough. One damage, one single bullet will do it essentially here. TP through finally with the punish. Mazino though, they know his positioning. And he's the last one left in a 1v3. All they got to do is hold this one down. Trust in the teammates. Boostio with a full stick through. That's another thrifty round.
Back to back to back. 100 Thieves are just desperately holding on. They've damaged the economy again, but once more, it's going to be Aspas with a hero rifle. 100 Thieves at some point have got to dodge the danger coming towards them and shut down these individuals to stabilize. They've run this same thrifty setup with a triple stack and then the C's from the player close. It's got value both times. Lev really slipping by falling into that one. Can 100 Thieves get a bit of stability going here?
Very close to an abundance of ults, aren't they? One away from the showstopper, the orbital strike, even with Thrash sitting in the back pocket.
Haunt thrown over towards Showers. Com pulling people over towards A. EU was in spawn, just playing that rotate position. But the spike, the exec, heading over towards B. That's where Tex is. That's where Aspas is going to be if he picks up the showstopper.
Bomb buddy out.
So they've maneuvered their way into a nice,
My ult's ready.
easy site currently. Although, as I say that, the spike's starting to head back over towards A, just as EU starts going towards B. So they are playing the rotates really well.
Right there.
Good calling here.
And the push and pull the players.
King and Com combining together.
Oh yeah.
Might not be much of a defense on the side of 100 Thieves here. Lots going to be asked for Asuna. Alongside Cryo, they might just try and delay. Yeah, he's detained. He needs some coverage at least. Somebody needs to help him out. Vulnerable, drop down, spam into every single corner. A volley at the feet, I think, potentially coming from Cryo. That's just to prevent them from really just trying to dive onto him.
That's Mazino's
Oh, it's
molly, actually.
Mazino's?
Yeah. So I think that one probably intended to catch there onto Asuna. Didn't quite work.
Still the shots. All cylinders firing off here for Aspas. This guy will not relent. Nightfall going to be pushing him back and away. Cuts away to Sound Q. Spam into the corner. That's going to be that entertainment still. Might be that advantage. Showstoppers on either side. Let loose of the rockets, but no casualties. At least King finally going to be going down over the top of the Horde. Might be able to play this one fast and loose. Filling up the feed entirely with the teal. 100 Thieves winning out.
First big successful retake for 100 Thieves, and the anti-eco finally coming online. 100 Thieves can stabilize a bit as we go into another really important rifle round. Showstoppers traded on either side. Look at that Horde. Look how much damage Asuna was able to get done through the box. Pretty nice stuff. Well coordinated. And as Ender was talking about, there was a lot of discussion. Is the team play Lev where the players want to swing and want to take their fights and are not forced to play in a super disciplined manner to build up that confidence? I mean, when you're looking at the top of the scoreboard, Aspas, he's definitely finding his moments in this map.
Yeah, certainly. Not much moves in terms of which team's going to be favored in this round, really. Still some big ults on either side. Maybe Lev with the edge, but Boostio just jump spotting. Sees the top of Aspas's head. I think that's going to be giving him a slight indicator, potentially. I mean, Lev, you can feel the fear, I think, as well in their steps. They are very wary about these trap plays. The amount of times they've been punished on B long.
Yeah.
Making sure that they're very cautious.
And 100 Thieves have a lot of different strategies that we've seen, tactics, I should say, I suppose, where they re-clear through hookah or they re-clear over towards B long, and you do not want to get caught in one of those, especially when you've been inserted, as King has here, and you don't have too much help. Still Com doing his classic thing, where he pulls attention away from himself.
Just trying to follow up with this one. Bang! Oh, that's a delivery. Spike dropped down into his lap along with those 2 kills. 100 Thieves.
Launching smoke.
Gonna be happy with this one.
They read that that was a hard fake. There was no response to the Nightfall coming out over towards A. Boostio did not move. Cryo stayed glued over towards B, and Bang delivered on his off angle. I feel like both of these teams have been feeling each other out quite well on the attack side, still finding good areas to end, and that's one of the few times where the calling from the attack side team has been countered
10
pretty
seconds
perfectly.
left.
That IGL battle haven't really highlighted it too much, but I see this devolving into that, you know, battle of the minds who can get a better reads over one another. But 100 Thieves slowly creeping and crawling their way back up to potentially going even here with Lev. It's a really important win in that round as well. We'll see how it affects the economy. Might still be able to get a buy together.
Yeah, it looks like they will scrap a buy together. The B-Long control has been a massive problem, though, for Leviathan. Think about the 2 Thrifty rounds that we saw.
Yeah.
Those were both going up B-Long and getting caught by that same trap play, like you were calling it. The high-low setup and then the fade with the C's inside Garden. And they're, again, bang on an off angle, catching. How 100 Thieves were dealing with that is that they were throwing their Viper Orb over towards B-Long.
Across the map with the molly. Lev, do they want to try and go off of this one? It looks like they're trying to set up something put together, orchestrated, maybe an exec. It's a little bit disjointed, though. And Aston has managed to get ahead of a lot of this now. He's going to be playing this tucked up, close position. Potential for the anti-flash. Orbital strike not going to be getting too much. Satchel through! What is that? Snap straight to the dome with Aspas dropped down still. It's going to be Ult's exchange. Come, just walking his way through it. Goes down to all of it. Tex, he's going to get the plant down at least with the wingman, and he's still alive and active into the round, but it's still a 4v2. Might be able to barrel them way through it. Brute Force needs to be on display. Boostio, defuse, tapped away, forcing out the util. Mosh pit, not even necessary. It's raw gunplay at work.
Lovely high-low setup as well, though. One player over towards bench, Boostio closer to the spike. Great team play there for 100 Thieves to get it across the line. Com got completely caught there over towards Showers. I mean, he was out of the ultimate, and then he walked back into it. Couldn't tell you exactly what. He must have been afraid of being peeked from the retake. Lost the awareness of what was going on. Com, obviously, it's no secret, has been struggling massively with his form. I feel like he's played a bit better since they've come back from Shanghai, but he's still not lighting the world on fire, obviously.
Yeah.
You just need to minimize your mistakes, I think, when you're in his kind of role.
Stat producer in my ear saying that there was a Caesar play.
Gotcha.
I think locked into place. The decision was made for him.
Well, there you go.
Essentially go down to it, so.
Leviathan.
I did miss that.
Leviathan, again, trying to take some B-Long control. They don't have that same attacking orb. King is using the orb over here in the classic spot at short. Now, in my opinion, on attack side of Bind, you can't really do that very well anymore, but they're using a Brim Smoke here to stop the angle from on top of Tube being taken. So Mazzino execing one of his smokes just to take B-Long control and get past the setup from Bang.
It's high-low, though, that 100 Thieves have got cooking. This could be brutal. Lev potentially walking right into the blender. Smokes are being held by Mazzino. They drop down. There's a lot of noise being made here.
Reclear
with the molly, yeah. Mosh pit. Nade.
Good spot from Aspas.
As well, close. Cutting it up. Aspas needs to do a lot here, and he will do just that.
What a read! I mean, that's exactly predicting that 100 Thieves were going to go for that reclear strategy. You saw Aspas, as soon as the first piece of util was thrown out, he tucks himself in that corner. He knows exactly what's happening. Lev looked very prepped right from the beginning of this map to deal with what 100 Thieves are throwing at them.
Yeah.
And this is another round where Lev's economy was not looking amazing, and they've managed to come out the better end of it. Making that adjustment to take some B-Long control, throwing out a smoke early on, even though it commits Mazzino to only having 2 for the exec itself. No problem if you're ending B. It looked like 100 Thieves were pulling off the comeback, but Lev take one step closer to winning here on Bind.
Yeah.
It's been hard fought since we've taken the swap of sides. 100 Thieves are doing a better job at it, but it may end up being too little too late.
Extremely back and forth, but finally, Lev finding a bit of a solution to that B-Long take. They were missing the protocols earlier, but all came together just then.
Yeah, and the advantage of that smoke is it stops the high-low setup, so there's nobody to play contact from sight. And also it allows you to focus all of your guns on the left side, so you don't get caught by Bang's off angle either. So it actually works really nicely against both setups. Now and I think that's the double-edged sword when you've got a map that's just so good for you. Everybody else is going to be trying to take you down there. Whereas Haven, which Leviathan have picked, who knows what is going on there?
Yeah, definitely. Series of unknowns. We'll find out, though. We will be seeing it.
Monster on the loose.
Definitely missed it. Enough about that. All eyes on Bind here. through. Molly going to be dodged and juked. Aspas in and through. Finds a perfect corner there. Bang just trying to evade the sight lines. A little bit too much util though to overcome, just in that hard anchor position, and now it's 100 Thieves forced into this retake. Everything working against them is a pit in their face, a player disadvantage, at least with the elbow control, and maybe just everything banking onto Cryo trying to take this flank timing, but he's slow with it.
They're not watching for the hookah flank, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to help them get through the pit. Here's that second wave of the thrash that caught Bang.
Clearing it out. They do spam it down. It's nice movement, potentially dodge those bullets. The K's kicking in as well as putting that pause into the round here with a C's connection. At least Boostio does find the one, but no easy targets finally. Cryo reconnecting with the rest of his team, but the crossfire setup is just immaculate. Still, the pit doesn't cover. It needs to be covered from multiple angles here with the smokes in their face, sticking it! King, has he done enough? The rest of it follows through with the bullets finally landing up to 12 for Leviathan.
What a setup there. The pit covering backside. Players over towards long, though, able to still play those spots and spam onto the spike. Come with the horn that wasn't broken, too, providing value for his team. Lev playing the post-plant situations, I think, a bit better than 100 Thieves did on the other side. And also getting the plants down almost for free. 100 Thieves not able to deny almost any of these plants that have come through.
Nice round, guys.
That was Com just getting caught towards the end. But this could potentially be our final round. A pit as Bang tries to hold them off, hoping that they can extend this map further.
That's what it comes down to, but as we were saying earlier, not a lot of breathing room. They just need one, and they brought the operator up into Aspas's hands straight through the box.
That's pretty big, and it breaks this B long setup. Or does it? The 100 Thieves players are wondering whether or not people are going to drop out of hookah. Boostio forced to disengage. They had Thrash in hand. Boostio was ready to send that on somebody B long, or possibly even through the teleporter if Asuna had taken contact. But now that entire idea falls to pieces as Boostio is forced to look towards hookah. This is how the House of Cards can tumble after just one pick.
Is he broken? Fired off by the AWP. They know where Aspas is. Sitting nice and pretty. EU this off angle. Bang got value here before, but the trouble is, how do you do it again? Surely they're going to be ready for it, and they spot him, at least with a jiggle. EU needs help. Thrash sees, round and about, but it's going to get spammed down as 3 players face him, and he's forced to evacuate. TP to get out of there. That leaves Boostio alone. The IGL to do it all. One shot found, still tucked to the floor. Dizzy in his face! Wrangles the rifle! And still maintains that composure. Maybe he's done enough. It's a 3v3, but a spike is planted and down. Full rotations now by 100 Thieves, just to stay alive in the map. Takes getting cheeky with it. It's forward, out through elbow to C's connects. King is low, at least with the decay. Prowler through as well. Asuna wraps it around and whips it around, at least with the rifle. Com forward, debated switch setup, and 100 Thieves. They live another day.
I get so worried when I see 100 Thieves getting back into positions with Asuna jumping around all over the place, but it is working. The spacing was quite nice there. On the second swing at least, the first one Asuna had to finish the kill himself. But EU with good utility pressure, denying the fact that Aspas keeps getting these opening kills, and what a performance from Boostio in that spot. EU completely abandoned him. Asuna with one of those kills in mid-air on a vulnerable player, for God's sake. 2 more rounds to take us to overtime. It's a hard ask for 100 Thieves. Boostio picking up the AWP over towards A. But his B site is looking a little weak.
Change hands with it. It's going to be a showstopper.
Both sides.
One to match. It goes even. An exchange of it, at least with that weaponry. Bang. It's going to be blinded up. Just cannot tuck himself up into that corner. No survival in sight now. Util's going to flood forwards. 100 Thieves, they realize it. Player disadvantage again. A lot going to be asked.
Where's the rifle for Boostio? His economy was flourishing, but he didn't feel like he could commit to buying a Phantom or Vandal for him as well, so he's on the retake with the AWP.
Oh yeah! Monster!
Potentially looking dire here. It's a Thrash. Used to clear it out. The shot misses. Teammate's got his back. Out and through here. Nightfall has to be committed, and you have to make a go of things here. Sees only dodged by the one player. Got to try and at least get yourself into the site. King, speaking of nuisance, time ticking away. Mazzino just holding the slightest of off angles. baiting them in, just trying to draw them all out. Cryo is already doing quite a lot here, but he just cannot do it all. Map 1.
Theme of setting up that primary duelist, and Aspas, all eyes are going to be on him as to what he can do, especially on the pistol, where it looks like he's going walkabouts down mid.
I thought they were going to feign like they were taking that A lobby control, the quick little fault line across the board, but just making sure they face it together, break the turret nice and early.
Yeah, and that puts a lot of fear in 100 Thieves that there could be somebody deep down. They do a decent job of clearing it fairly quickly. And it looks like they want to pivot into a B hit.
Yeah, all walking up. 2 players to meet them. It's going to be King and Aspas. Up through the back here, and they're just walking right into his crosshair. Placement's there. Bit of a glide as well. Disengage, but just decides to take the fight straight up. Wants to try and at least stop them before they can even get the plant down, and he's done just that. EU left alone here. Right click, doing a bit of damage, but position's known. Picks up the upgrade. 4 bullets, though. Not a lot to work with, and tap goes the Ghost. Tex finally sniffs him out, hunts him down.
Another 3K from a player from Leviathan. They're 8th in the match. Aspas doing a great job here. The desk wondering how he would be able to perform on Neon.
One enemy remaining.
And looking pretty good so far. I mean, Aspas is pretty happy taking duels against people when they're not stunned. Imagine how unfair it is when he's swinging you and you've been concussed. Not going to feel great. He's going to pick up a Vandal round 2 as well.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
It's just unfair.
Top form for Aspas.
There.
I was predicting as well that they're going to be trying to farm up these orbs. To dart. And they use it here with a fault line. No spam inside though. It's a little bit delayed.
But for 100 Thieves, I mean, unless you're going to farm up Asna's ultimate, there aren't really huge ults that you use to, like, get deep onto a site. Faking, baiting somebody into punishing him by tapping that ult orb, and then getting the punish on Bang. Nice play. And he's drawn the other 2 players of his team in to defend the A site. Looking good here, Lev, in terms of their defensive protocols and rotates. I think 100 Thieves are a little behind the meta, trying to run Sova and the KO on this map. But I think that comes back to a wider discussion with 100 Thieves. If you wanted to run a Neon, it probably wouldn't be Cryo. And then it means you have to shuffle around all of the roles. Do you want Cryo to play smokes? If so, what's Bang playing? You're probably not going to play Neon with the double smokes.
It's good damage done to Tex here, but okay. Pistol of their own with the classics and the right clicks. Shouldn't be too much danger in for this round. Definitely doing a lot of damage there towards the end by EU, but overall, put the focus on Lev for a moment here. I feel like, scriptwriter's getting lazy, still in the same storylines that we had for them. The rejuvenation that this team's had. In stage 1, it was like a bit of a slow beginning, questions circling around this team. Are they really a super team? Then they, started beating a lot of top contenders. Looked really good. Kind of seen them off to a very strong start after a sloppy Shanghai performance. And honestly, I'm pretty surprised. They were handed the easy win versus MIBR to a degree, playing with 2 substitutes.
Yeah, and you couldn't really tell from that game whether Lev had recovered their form and were looking better, but I've been impressed with what I've seen so far. Here they come on the
and a lot of variation. Round. Yeah, this is the bonus round strategy. They're going for that A crunch in straight through them all. Bang! Cuts it up onto the tight angle here, but Mizzino follows through in the end.
It's just great.
These ideas, many layers to it as well.
Recalling my bot.
Cooked up especially for the bonus round. What a time to do it.
The Neon just pairs so perfectly with the double initiator because you're able to follow up on that utility instantly. It doesn't matter how far the distance is.
I got the spike.
Bang is pressured super heavily by that aftershock. Recon out as well, stun. And then you've got Aspas barreling towards you. Boostio left to pick up the pieces in a 1v3.
Good luck to him. Have to be a hell of a clutch. Slight bit of noise made. It's going to be spotted by the cam.
Wow, my eyes are down.
One problem removed. 40 seconds to work with. Time going to start to get whittled down. Not making it easy for him, are they?
30 seconds left.
No, he's found a little bit of an opportunity if he wanted to take this over towards A.
Fault line's up though. Force him off the plant. Shot dart, not sure where that one's going. Maybe a bit of a distraction play, but discipline reigns supreme. Lev win out their bonus.
It's a great strategy from Leviathan. And they caught 100 Thieves perfectly. So, I mean, a lot of the time when you're going to run some kind of crunch on an area of the map, there is a little bit of luck involved. 200 Thieves actually commit to fighting for A long in a round like that.
Oh, there you go.
Caught them perfectly. And as Mimi was talking about on the desk, it's been a long time since we saw Aspas play Neon. He's not famed for it. But at the moment, Neon just looks so powerful. And Aspas, even when he plays Jet, is known for his movement of stringing things together.
That's a difficult one, though. Surely doesn't get out alive. Mazzino covering fire. And an auto offloaded. EU.
A second triple kill back-to-back from Mazzino. Got one on the bonus round and then cleans up for Aspas. Quick shutdown. And Aspas takes the opener, takes the closer at the other side of C-Long.
He's on fire. I mean, the scoreboard was brought up briefly for a moment, but 7-2. He's carried it with the momentum straight from map 1.
But I'll tell you what's more impressive to me. A lot of the focus is going to be on Aspas because he's an extraordinary player. And he's been playing extraordinarily well. But I'm more impressed today with what King and Mazzino are doing. Because they're the supportive elements who are stepping up and making this feel more like a super team. A team like Sentinels, and if Sen bomb during playoffs, 100 Thieves will be kicked out. They need to find a way to turn this around. And whether or not it happens here on Haven, again, just coming back to what Zig said, you need to see some better Valorant being played.
100 Thieves trying to go fast and loose into this one here, but there's a stack of players all ready and waiting. Odin spam away, Comp, no connections. No real damage done here, but how do you deal with these players here? Dart, it's going to be broken. Paranoia, bit of a team flash, but reveals some all, and finally allows a time to strike for Tex. Bang! He's with the Guardian. There's some precision there, but a Utilad on his hands. Caught unaware.
I'm so impressed with these defensive setups from Lev.
It's always changing.
Yeah, they had Aftershock there to kind of hurry the players through their garage play. That one's at your back. You feel incentivized to commit to the C site. And once you get there, you're blinded up, running into trips, smoke in the middle. At no point can 100 Thieves just pause and retain some control over the pace of the game. Even when Leviathan are allowing the play to come to them, they're still forcing the action, increasing the tempo and making it uncomfortable for 100 Thieves. Looking quite similar to the pistol round setup here, but Aspas, it's slightly better than a pistol in hand.
Just the off.
Yeah.
A little bit better. Break the turret into mid, put a bit of fear into the hearts of 100 Thieves if they haven't already. Just from that scoreline sitting at the top.
And the cam that Tex has posted over towards C right now just tells them everything about Garage. Lev are super happy to stack over towards A.
Slowed down. It's the last round here. You've got to make it count here for 100 Thieves. Do have the ults to work with. Drone being used to support. Smoke to cross over. Fault line. It's a knife dodged and avoided here. The dart over the top. That's Comp. Send that one a little bit early. Has been baited out by 100 Thieves. Could be the second wave of things now with the no command. And there it is. Sends it flying. At least the Paranoia was primed by King. And it's just these little pieces and tools being used to slow them down. The anchoring players might be in a world of cryo adjust. Comp. Tucked to the corner, Hunter's Fury was the extra thing needed. The cherry on top, and 100 Thieves now just need to sail it home, but already flooding in. Levin not giving them a time to catch their breath, not in the slightest. Playing forwards and into the smoke, and away! King, he's trapped inside of it. Cryo, he's done so much for this team, and finally, with the 4 kills in a round, maybe there's a lifeline.
Switching sides.
Eventually, Cryo finds his value. Very quiet across Bind, but doubles his kills there towards the end to sit at 7.5. Overall, though, the story of this first half has got to be almost perfection from Lev. The setups all working beautifully, winning retakes that they honestly have no right to. And that trio of Aspas, King, and Mazzino combining together to exert their will upon the game.
Absolutely at the top of the scoreboard for them. Well, let's send it down to Liz down at the streamer.
Right, I really feel like that defense side is going to inspire so much confidence back into how Leviathan have approached stage 2. Whether the credit goes towards King or Idapata or whatever it is, Lev just look utterly rejuvenated, and their defense side setups looking very reminiscent of when they played against NRG on Sunset and utterly crushed them there so long ago.
Yeah, a while ago, but very well drilled.
We might not even get to see much of this attack side. It would have to be pretty impeccable from 100 Thieves. Lev grouping up, taking A-long control very easily here.
Never say never begins with the pistol round of Cryo falling early. Less likely. Texas the one as well, taking that contact just makes it feel like it's not even potentially leaning A.
Exactly.
It's just a Cypher player that's spotted. Footstep heard. Asner out wide, just trying to throw that util to set up the play. And it's just a little bit too obvious, I think. Cooked up. Timing misfired there from 100 Thieves, just trying to offset that disadvantage. And again, an open plan here for Leviathan. Almost unlosable into the post plan.
2v5. Only with classics. They still do have Flash Recon to play with, but it would have to catch onto everyone for there to be a chance.
Going out.
Mistakes need to be made here by the left players. Paranoia is good, at least spotting and isolating out these players. Still Mazzino is quick with it. Fast round the corner and straight through the wall. Makes his mark known. Up to 11, pistol round win for Lev.
Good coverage. Really nicely done there, because the Flash Recon, it was fairly effective. So when King calls attack sides with this Sova Breach composition on Haven, it's been his MO the entire time to work around recon timings. And this time again, Com uses a recon for map control at the start, and 40 seconds later, 55 seconds on the clock, they go for the exec as soon as the recon comes back online. It is readable. If Boostio can get an idea of those timings, he can find those mid-round gaps. But if Cryo's going to lose the duel anyway, then it's going to be rough. 100 Thieves, they are forced to force. They're down 11-2. And this is looking like it could be the decider map.
Has to be that investment. Pre-firing onto just two of the angles. Bang, just couldn't retreat in time. It's dropped and slow and steady as it goes here for Lev.
Yeah, and this time looking to try to increase the tempo. Popping way before the minute mark, not using that fault line or recon dart at the start. And 100 Thieves are going to be forced to run a retake where they have no smoke for the spike, no paranoia to work with either. It's so tough.
That's really rough. You could just play this all the way from the long angle. If they so wished, not really giving up that backside control though. Arts forwards, on with that flash.
Good flash recon.
Broken. It is actually. It's nice with the peak. Boostio, at least dropping Mazzino, finds another one. He can't deal with him. This guy is more than pesky. The IGL put the matters into his own hands. The combined might of the team, they find that advantage.
Okay, that's what you need to be seeing for 100 Thieves to bring something back here. Perfect coordination on the flash recon dart. No way you're breaking that one. Really well timed between EU and Asuna. And then Boostio continuing to apply that pressure. No one from Lev could take him out.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
Peak timing off of all that util. Yeah, it's perfect.
One down.
It's all ADS, man. Yeah, running rampant into the round, but maybe, just maybe, there's a possibility. Slimmest of margins to work with, but 100 Thieves are probably going to take it.
There've just been so many individual moments from Lev over the course of this match. And so many thrifties, actually, for both teams across Bind. It feels very unlikely that 100 Thieves would be able to make the run back from 3-11 down, but never say never.
Yeah, we've seen crazier stuff.
I haven't seen much crazier stuff.
No? From 3-11?
Got one.
Seen just the one. Boostio, Guardian.
Bomb grenade out.
Just tapping them, picking them apart. Under that, swarms as well. Order shots fired and a wrap around. Clean anti-eco.
Very clean. EU one away from getting his ult online, which could be devastating for Lev as they try to get step back up with rifles in hand. Lev often have these kind of setups where they look immaculate on defense and can't quite get things across the line just as cleanly on their attack side. They seem like a very prep-based team in terms of they're at their best when they have real drilled setups that they can run and rotate through them. And now the onus is on King to push them across the line with his calling. Again here, pay attention to these fault line and recon dart timings used at the very beginning of the round from Lev, so the back 40 seconds later. Again, that's the kind of timing that King likes to call.
Right there.
And so that also means that 100 Thieves can try to get aggressive in these kind of moments because Lev slows it, they slow it right down. Once they take that initial piece of map control over towards long, they don't tend to go aggressive until the recon and stun are back.
Not sure where that shot out landed, but heard it fired off somewhere.
So 10 seconds here until those pieces of utility are back online. And if I was 100 Thieves, I would be anticipating this to potentially be ending A within the next 10 seconds. And if not, then maybe you go on a fact-finding mission.
The util 4 but the flash, that's going to indicate quite a lot. Nade has to be dropped down at the feet to try and prevent them from getting in, but it's the slightest of gaps, at least with the wall up as well. Flash rebounds again, just overhead, lobbing it backwards and forwards. Definitely putting a bit of a pause into the step of Leviathan. Struggling to get themselves in. Great supportive util. Asuna has allowed that angle to play in. King. That is just, okay, egregious is the word I'll use. Just running and gunning back and away. Mazzino can get this plant.
Bang had a phenomenal paranoia last time they went for the retake. Almost made it work.
3v3. Gonna be holding it. Lessons learned from Lev. They're not playing into those similar positions and angles, but now released down by the heaven angle. Out, down, through. Hell! Oh, they all topple.
You can't be letting that happen. The 12th on the board for Mazzino.
Let's put them in the ground.
He was caught. Dead to rights by the paranoia. Nearsighted gets 2. Leviathan did commit, but it was more of a staggered push off the back of the recon dart. So the timing is again on that kind of predictable flowchart call from King, but they very cautiously approached that one, knowing that 100 Thieves had stacked the site. They're up to match point. 8 chances to close out. Almost impossible for 100 Thieves. But at least I want to see something more from them. More like that retake that we saw over towards C. Just some better Valorant being played.
Yeah, show us that something's been cooking.
I mean, it would be nice to see them win a map after coming back from Shanghai. Yet to see that. But it doesn't look like it's going to be on the cards today.
Under the high ground, rolling funded. It's a hard committal. Boostio tries to step himself in front of it and away, but it's returned straight back. Aspas trying to hunt him out. In through the back of the side, flashes, dodge Aspas! This guy, he can't be stopped. The rest of his team alongside him. It's brutal to watch. Ripping straight through him. 100 Thieves dominated. Worked in the neutral. A 2-0 victory for Leviathan.